What's up, family? Today we have shocking news to share with you, and the American people are not happy about it. Starting off, we had another mass shooting. Yes, guys, shockingly enough, this ended up happening late last night. As you can see, guys, 9 people, including 4 minors, were shot on Hollywood Broadwalk. Yes, guys, it says that 9 people, including 4 minors, were transported to near area hospitals following a mass shooting at the Hollywood Broadwalk on Monday afternoon. Now, a City of Hollywood spokesperson confirmed that 9 people had been shot. 4 of these were minors, ages ranging between 1 and 17 years old. The ages of the adults were ranging between 25 and 65 years old. And 1 is in surgery and the others were in stable condition. Now, this ended up happening in the 1200 block of North Broadwalk, or near the Margaritaville Hollywood Beach Resort. This ended up happening at around 6:41 p.m. According to the news reports, and it started with an altercation between 2 groups, which escalated to being having shots fired, according to the Hollywood officials. Now, like I said, 1 person of interest has been detained, and police are currently looking for the second individual. But anyways, guys, we definitely want to keep them in our prayers. This is just sad. We continue to see this type of news happen during the holiday weekend. Hopefully that does change, but it looks like it is actually heating up even more than years ago. So anyways, guys, I will solicit you to go ahead and send up your prayers in the meantime for these particular individuals. The good news is that so far we don't have any reports of anyone losing their lives in regards to being shot. But anyways, guys, that could change at any given time. So we definitely want to keep them in our prayers in the meantime. Moving on, guys, something that we did not see coming. State Farm has announced that they will no longer offer home insurance in the state of California. This is rather shocking, but State Farm ended up making this particular news over the weekend, in which they will no longer be offering home and property insurance to new customers in California, and this is going to be starting on Saturday. According to the latest press release, the insurance company, which is the mega insurance company, they pretty much pointed to the historic increases in construction costs outpacing inflation, rapidly growing catastrophe exposure, and a challenging reinsurance market for its decision, making particularly note of the risk posed by the state's frequent wildfires. And yes, guys, in a statement from State Farm, they said that, look, we take seriously our responsibility to manage risk. We recognize the governor's administration, legislators, and the California Department of Insurance for their wildfire loss mitigation efforts. However, it's necessary to take these actions now to improve the company's financial strength. State Farm said that it will continue to serve existing customers in the state and that personal auto insurance would not be impacted. And yes, guys, just a little bit of statistics in regards to these particular wildfires. It says right here that there were 7,490 wildfires in California in the year of 2022 that burned more than 360,000 acres, which Cal Fire described as quite a year. The year prior, wildfires burned more than 2.5 million acres in the state alone. So yes, guys, if you are moving to California and you are a huge State Farm customer, you probably want to rethink your decision going forward, because they are no longer offering home insurance for new customers. Existing customers, their particular policies will stay the same, but I would only imagine that those existing customers, their insurance policies would probably go up significantly to push them off of State Farm insurance. But anyways, guys, if you live in California, I definitely feel for you at this particular time. It is getting worse for the state of California. Moving on, guys, we do want to go ahead and talk about the recent news that we received. I believe it was on Saturday, in regards to the debt ceiling deal that President Biden, as well as House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, were able to get together and come to an agreement with on a bipartisan way. They were able to reach a debt ceiling deal to avoid a default default, which is huge, guys, as we already know that the Treasury Secretary recently told us that the United States could run out of money by or early as June the 1st, which he ended up coming out here recently within the 72 hours or so and said that reviewing the data information, it says that we will probably run out of money about 4 days later around June the 5th. But again, the good news is that Biden and McCarthy were able to reach a debt ceiling deal to avoid the U.S. from defaulting on its obligations. And yes, guys, President Biden and McCarthy had stated that they believe that the American people would be happy about this decision, would be happy about the details in regards to the debt deal. But anyways, guys, we have some different information that we just received on Sunday, in which, guys, they are saying that the Democrats and Republicans are not necessarily happy about this bill at all, especially the Democrats. The Democrats feel like they didn't get anything in this particular debt ceiling deal at all. They feel like they pretty much had everything that they have fought for over the past 6 to 9 months or so. They feel like they have pretty much had it all stripped away from them. And yes, guys, Republicans are saying that they wanted a little bit more than what they were actually able to do. Now, if you guys are not familiar with exactly what was in this particular debt ceiling deal, you definitely want to check out my video that I posted yesterday, because I went over everything that was in the negotiations in regards to what President Biden ended up giving up in the deal and what the GOP was able to gain from having the debt ceiling deal. So check that video out if you get an opportunity. But anyways, guys, we did hear from one Republican in which he blasted the Biden and McCarthy debt ceiling deal, and he called it a turd sandwich. Who heard of this? I believe they actually used that term on South Park. But anyways, guys, yes, Chip Roy ended up saying that this particular deal that they agreed to was sort of similar to a turd sandwich. And yes, guys, he is a conservative Republican of Texas, Chip Roy. But anyways, guys, like I said, people on both sides of the aisle are not necessarily happy with this deal, as well as the American people. They all feel like the Democrats pretty much gave up everything just to get this thing done. And I will remind you guys that they were pretty much on a time crunch in order to get this deal done, because as you guys know, this week, guys, they are expected to run out of money, in which you can't necessarily push the envelope or push the negotiations any further, guys. They are pretty much down to the wire in regards to trying to get this debt deal done before the deadline, guys. And anyways, guys, as we have seen, like we talked about on the previous video, there were significant cuts to the deal in regards to what the Democrats have fought for. And yes, guys, the Democrats are not happy at all about the decisions that President Biden made. They feel like he pretty much gave up everything, guys, without getting anything in return. So anyways, guys, but like I said, the U.S., the Biden administration, the House Speaker, they are on the brink of a default that could happen as early as this week. If the United States runs out of money by Thursday, guys, which I believe that is June the 1st, or at the latest, like on Sunday, around June the 3rd or June the 4th or June the 5th, guys, this could be catastrophic to the United States, as well as losing our credit rating. Guys, this could cause significant damage to all Americans in the country. So I get it to a certain extent. They had to do what they had to do to get this deal done in time, because, guys, you already know that even though Biden and McCarthy came to an agreement on a bipartisan way in regards to the debt ceiling deal, it still has to go through the House for their approval. It still has to go through the Senate for their approval as well, which we all know that could pretty much lead to more negotiations, more changes within the deal itself. They still have to come out with the entire piece of legislation, the document, which is probably going to be well over 100 pages. Guys, this particular deal is worth $3.4 trillion. So yes, guys, we pretty much don't have any more time yet. And so far, guys, they are saying that this deal could have a vote as early as Wednesday. So yes, guys, they need to get things done because there is not much time left. And like I said, guys, the American people, as well as the Republicans and the Democrats, are not necessarily happy about this deal. However, they understand the significance of getting something done very quickly rather than later, because they are on the brink of having a U.S. default. Well, anyways, guys, like I said, the deal is done. They had to get it done. They had no choice. And now President Biden is urging Congress to just go ahead and pass the debt ceiling deal. We understand that it's not necessarily what everyone wanted, but we had no choice. We were at the brink of a U.S. default, and we need to just go ahead and get this bill done, get it signed into law, and let's move forward. And yes, guys, the bill doesn't get everything everybody wanted, according to the House Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, but President Biden is urging Congress to just go ahead and pass the debt ceiling deal. So anyways, guys, we'll just have to see how all this turns out, guys. But the good thing is we do have a deal on the table. We are looking a little bit better than we have been before. American people don't necessarily have to worry as much as they have been, because it looks like people like our Social Security recipients, SSI, SSDI, VA beneficiaries, as well as our seniors, will continue to receive their monthly checks every single month, including the first check that is coming very soon this week on June the 1st, as well as our SNAP food stamp recipients are also going to be receiving their monthly benefits as well. So it looks like nothing is going to be interrupted because of this new deal that is on the table. But anyways, guys, I hope all this information in this video was helpful to you today. Well, anyways, guys, hey, that's all we have for you today. If you enjoyed today's content and you want to see more, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like today's video, then go ahead and hit the like button for us. It really helps out this channel, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.